Hey! Here we are, episode 5 of Rupaul's Drag Race season 10. So we waved goodbye to Dusty Ray Bottoms, who wrote "Never loved you" on the mirror. I mean, I'm not sure how I'd feel about that if somebody left in the competition, but anyway. I think it was a shame that Dusty didn't spend more time putting dots on her face, seeing as that's her signature look. Michelle picked her up on it in week 1. It's a bit too early to start that shit. You know, week 1, that's somebody's signature look. Let them do that. Anyway, Dusty's gone. And we still have Monét in the competition. We get back into the workroom and the girls are all chatting away, and Asia's asked how she feels about, you know, what's happened. And she says she's annoyed at everybody else. Okay. I'm a bit confused about that. I don't know about you. I'm confused how she's annoyed because she's the one who's given out too much help. So instead of checking herself and going, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I haven't done this. Girl, I'd love to help you, but actually I have my own stuff that I need to worry about. She spent too much time doing stuff for other people because she wants to feel like a mother, and that's great. But it's not going to win a competition for you. Now this is another point where we get to see how diplomatic and intelligent and empathetic Miss Cracker is, because she pulls her up on it and says, you know, you offered that, people took it, and you have to give that freely. You can't expect other people to do everything else for you then. You know, it doesn't work like that. Monét reminds her that it is a competition. Nobody's here to make best friends. They're here to win $100,000. Like, and give half of that to the taxman. So, we're back into the workroom. And in her little, you know, interview bit, Vixen's talking about how Eureka came for her really hard in Untucked. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like Vixen is constantly trying to pick a fight with people. And that's okay. Like, that's who you've decided to be. You want to be that aggressive, angry person all the time. And she did keep cutting Eureka off. And actually, I would probably have felt the same as Eureka did. If you didn't watch Untucked, go and watch it. Full off drop. Eureka just goes, alright, I'm just gonna go and smoke. And then Vixen blows up. So Vixen feels like she had somebody coming at her hard, but actually, what you then gave back was way more than you received. Way more than you received, and totally unnecessary. And that's kind of how I feel a lot about how Vixen behaves with other people, is that it's just a bit unnecessary. Rupaul comes back into the workroom. Hey. This week, the mini challenge is to drag up a military issue bag. So it's khaki, and you know, I'm not really that keen on khaki. It's not really a thing that I have in my wardrobe very much of. We use it for Survivor. I'm a survivor, I'm not gonna... You know, we use it for that, but other than that, I don't really have khaki in my wardrobe. So it's difficult to know what I would do with that. I thought it was really weird that, like, Monique wore, like, cut-out chaps, and then we see some of those later on. I thought that was a bit weird that that sort of happened in that time. But I think the girls who did the best in this challenge, Vixen wins. I think hers was probably the best outfit out of all of them. It probably was the best outfit out of all of them. Rewatching it and really looking at them. But in terms of who would I want to be my kind of drag army champion, it would definitely be Cameron Michaels. Like, ooh, that body looked so good in that army stuff. We're also seeing more politics here, because this is the year where Trump has rescinded the right for trans people to fight in the army, and so Rupaul is making another political statement this week, and I am here for it. I love it. Yes. The main challenge this week is for all of the girls to appear on the Bossy Rossy Show. And Ross Mathews is absolutely brilliant at this. It's just perfect. The way that he delivers everything is just right, like exactly right for a spoof of a 90s talk show where they just bring people on to humiliate them and they pay them. It's, you know, none of it's real. So because Vixen won the mini challenge, she gets to pair everybody up. So Vixen pairs herself up with Asia, then she pairs Blair up with Monique, then she pairs Monét exchange with Cameron, she pairs Cracker with Mayhem, and then she pairs Eureka with Aquaria. Now at this point she's trying to be shady, like she doesn't like either of these girls because both of them have something to say. Aquaria because her jokes don't really land that well and comes off more kind of bitchy than shady, and Eureka just because she's a loudmouth. We've seen this time and time again that when girls try and do this, that it almost always backfires. You know, when they go in and they try and sabotage another group, then the girls that they've tried to sabotage just step up and go, okay, I wouldn't naturally want to work with you. You're not really my kind of person, but that's okay, we're here. How do we make it work? And they step up and they make it work. We see it time and time again. That's what we hear Asia and Vixen talking about when we're in the workroom, that they've tried to mess up Eureka and Aquaria. And then because Vixen and Asia have got Why Are You So Obsessed With Me, they decide they're going to do Aquaria and Miss Cracker. Like, great, brilliant. This is an improv, so you already have loads of information about these people, about how they behave, what they do, their kind of their shtick. Because for improv, that is incredibly important. You need to have a really full and well-rounded backstory, and you need to really understand who your character is before you step out on stage. So you do all of the work for improv before you get on there, especially in this kind of scenario, because that way, when you get out onto stage, you don't need to think too much about it. You know that they were born here, that they have this many siblings, their mother is a pot wash, their father is a policeman, you know, and so you know their kind of stories, the things that have tied their life together, which then makes it easier to portray a character on stage. The problem that we're seeing with a lot of these groups is that they don't really spend that much time thinking about this stuff. So like with Monét and Cameron, Monét decides the sort of stuff that she's going to say, but not so much about what's the story behind Monét's character. She doesn't really have one. And then she's worried because Cameron isn't naturally an actor. Cameron knows that Monét is going to sell it, so she's ready. She's prepped herself and she's like, I have to work doubly hard as I usually would, otherwise I would be outshined. I think she meant outshone, but gloss over that. We see a similar sort of thing with Cracker and Mayhem. Like Cracker anchors her character in the costume and then builds around that. So she's got this Dr. Dill character and she's decided, right, I'm going to be a pickle, okay, great. And then she builds on from that, whereas Mayhem doesn't anchor her character anywhere and doesn't really have a backstory. All she has is that she's supposed to be scared of pickles. But no, you know, there's no reason. She doesn't have a backstory to why is she scared of pickles. What is it that's made her afraid of them? We then have Blair and Monique. Blair is talking about like very kind of complex ideas with her character about that, you know, she's a very kind of middle-class white lady who likes to get wild but then has to reel it in because she forgets, you know, so she says things that she shouldn't and then she has to reel it in. Whereas Monique is like, okay, so I'm the home wrecker, that's what my role is, bam, straight. So she's got a really clear anchor of who she is, whereas Blair's is very kind of a complex character to then portray to an audience, you know, so that it's really clear. Monique has kind of clocked this and understands that maybe she'll overpower her. So she says, okay, so let's have a safe word. So if you feel like I'm taking too much, then you can say the safe word and then we can, you know, start to even things out a bit more. She's a brilliant and very giving idea from Monique. All we really see from Eureka and Aquaria is them saying, oh, you shouldn't wear this for the outfit. And we don't really see much more about, you know, their actual process of what it is that they're building. First out we have Blair and Monique, and Blair is absolutely outshone by Monique. But because Monique has put in this safe word, it allows them to then save the scene. Then we have Monét and Kameron, and this is for me like a total 360, because we're expecting Monét to be amazing. She gets tongue-tied in the beginning, and then when Kameron comes out, she's not feeding off Kameron, she's not really listening. It's like butting against what Kameron is doing. So she's not using any of the stuff that Kameron is delivering for her. Then we have Mayhem and Cracker, and Mayhem through the whole scene is absolutely trounced by Cracker. Cracker really knows where she's going. She has a very clear plan of what's going to happen, and she directs and steers the whole scene. Then when Mayhem finally steps up at the end, she's doing things which then don't allow Cracker to interact with her. Like she runs around and then lies on the back beam bit on her front. Well, you can't see anybody else then. You can't interact with them. Then we have Vixen and Asia, and this, to me, the whole scene just didn't really work because they'd spent too much time trying to be shady about other people rather than thinking about what it was that they were actually going to do. The pinnacle of this scene is the wig snatch. And then Vixen runs away. So Asia's just left there like, what's going on? I don't know. Then we have Aquaria and Eureka. And the weird thing with this is that Aquaria says to Eureka, no, you can't wear that bonnet. It's far too, you know, a little house on the prairie. And then she comes out with it on her head. Okay. So actually, you just didn't want her to wear it because you thought you'd look better with it. So Aquaria starts really, really strongly in this with the baby voice, hello, how are you? And then as soon as she's into the interview mode, she's just got her flat voice back again. Yeah, well, so I got married and it was great, yeah. Like, you need to, once you've got your character, and that she could have done so much with that would have then kind of leveled the playing field a bit. But then as soon as Eureka comes out, which is like, amazing, totally unexpected. She's just in a diaper and this thing, and then she's sucking on the bottle. It's hilarious. It's so funny right from the word go because you don't expect it, and then it just is instantly the Eureka show. And the pinnacle of this scene, of course, is Eureka laid on the floor crying. The problem that I had was that Aquaria dropped the baby really quickly, and instead of being like a baby, was more like a petulant, you know, teenager. And if she just carried on with her character, I think the whole scene would have been even stronger. So when Eureka's on the floor having a temper tantrum, what does the other baby have to do? The other baby has to get on the floor and have an even bigger temper tantrum. That's what we want to see. We want to see this battle of so that then Ross can be like, you know what? The only baby in this studio is me. Get out! Now we're on to elimination day. Vixen says that she doesn't feel like she's having the whole experience. She wants to get some feedback. And we hear again, don't poke the bear. Like, all right, I'm sick of it now. Let's move on. Let's do something different. It's not even linked to your name, so it's not really that clever. She'd said like, these are sharp teeth, or this bitch has got claws. It's tied to your name, and so then it would make sense, but it's just a generic saying, don't poke the bear. Mayhem tries to play peacemaker between Eureka and Vixen. I can't say that it's fully successful actually, because Eureka is quite genuine in her apology and there's some give and take and compromise, but Vixen just has no compromise in her whatsoever, which, you know what? Fine, that's okay. But you also have to understand this is a TV program and people are watching it and looking at you. So in terms of a long-term career, unless you are going to be the most incredibly rounded queen after, it doesn't play well for you as a as a performer later on. People just aren't that into it because you just come across as a bitch. On to the runway. So it's denim and diamonds. I have made myself some more gloves this week. These are what I would say more successful. I don't have any denim in my wardrobe, which is weird because as a boy I've got lots of denim in my wardrobe. Like I'm double, triple, quadruple denim. I just brought diamonds instead. Sorry about it. So for me, the people on the runway who stood out were Vixen. I thought her dress was absolutely beautiful. The fishtail, gorgeous. The only thing I'm missing is I still want a breast form in there because it helps to give the body that shape. So even without the cinching, she still would have had more of a shape because the breasts create the shape at the top. I didn't like her wig at all. I thought her wig was really... You know, like when you bleach your hair first time and it comes out yellow? It was that kind of first time bleach hair. Then I thought Asia O'Hara's, which is all the ripped up and shredded and the cape, I thought that was glorious. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Big shout out to Monét because her makeup and her wig looked absolutely stunning. The people I didn't really like that much this week were Eureka. Controversial, I know. I just felt like it just wasn't enough. It's okay. It's not great though. The other person who I just thought completely missed it this week was Blair. I just thought it was horrible what she was wearing. Like, her skin is so pale and it just, none of it worked really. She looked really cheap and the wig, nah, it was horrible. I didn't like it at all. The other person who I wasn't that keen on, or rather, it wasn't that I didn't like her outfit, I just felt like it was a miss, was Mayhem. Because it didn't look like denim, did it? It looked like it was just a cotton dress that had been dyed pink. So if she'd made it out of actual like blue denim, perfect. It would have been absolutely perfect then. But because it was pink rather than blue, it just meant that we're looking at it going, is that a denim dress? I don't think so. When we're having the judging itself, Vixen does the classic, I'm not going to throw Asia under the bus, but, and then immediately throws her under the bus. We also learned that Monét doesn't know the difference between giraffes and cows. This VANJIE pops up like magic and nearly pops Rupaul's face tape. Shaka Khan. I don't know if you noticed, but Monét actually calls Rupaul Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So the people in the bottom this week are Vixen, Money Exchange and Mayhem Miller. Vixen is safe. I think it's got to be her runway look that saved her. So we get Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman. And it's a competition, it's the battle is between Mayhem and Monét. And Monét absolutely dominates the whole way through. Mayhem doesn't stand a chance. And the thing with this is, you can see with Monét that she goes away and she thinks about what happens in this song. Where are the bits where I can put a little bit of interest? Where are my POIs? Mayhem comes on and just kind of, oh, I'm beautiful, look how beautiful I am. It's not enough to be beautiful. It's not. You have to be an entertainer as well. Plus she does the absolute worst cartwheel in the world. Like, really? That was the best? That was the best that you could manage? Okay. So this week we wave goodbye to Mayhem Miller. Now it's time for our points of view, UK and Ireland. So here are our queens and kings.
So we are on episode 5 of Drag Race, and this week they had to be on like a talk show. And it was quite funny actually. I thought Eureka and Aquaria worked together surprisingly well, because you wouldn't really think their personalities would, you know, you'd think there'd be a lot of clashes between them, but no, they did really well. Obviously Eureka outshine Aquaria, but it's very hard to outshine a character like Eureka. liked Vixen's idea about taking the piss out of the whole Aquaria and Cracker twin thing, but it really didn't come together. Like, it was awful. Like, it picked up at the end, but it just didn't work. Obviously Cracker was hilarious with the whole like pickle thing. It's very like smart humour, like very well timed. I really enjoyed that. And then for the runway, it was denim and diamonds. Cameron looked so good. Like, again, the body looked amazing. I loved the silhouette. Very nice little skirt. Asia was definitely my favourite with the whole kind of, it's all like ripped up pieces. It looks really, really cool. I enjoyed that. Obviously Aquaria looks amazing. She always pulls looks together. I really enjoyed like the fan detail and how whoever made the outfit, like they shredded the denim to kind of look like feathers, like on the trim of like a little body suit kind of thing. I love that. That's great. Mayhem's pink look, like I like the idea of doing pink instead of blue, but I don't know, the fabric just didn't look like denim. You could have, I don't know, done something to it, like a finish, like acid wash or something to just make it look a little bit better. I like the idea of the cute kind of country look, but it just didn't come together at all. So unfortunately she did go this week, and it's a shame. She could have gone further, but not too bothered about her leaving. So yeah, that was my review of episode 5 of Drag Race.
Don't forget, if you would like to put your point of view across, please email me at divinadecampo.co.uk with a video of a minute or less. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next week with episode 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you all next week. Bye bye!